See, I got me an idea, and I'ma put it to work, and I'ma gauge my progress by the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress, cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps that I've left. I'm
First
passing all
things
of your
first,
rappers,
I'ma
it's just a
say
matter
all the
of
things
time.
that's in my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, you know that song, right? That's the first line of Imagine Dragons, right? So check it. My name is Pablo Rivera, and this is another edition of Make It Happen Monday. Check this out. You already know that this is the day that the Lord has made, and I have decided to rejoice and be glad in it. And if you ain't noticed yet, I'm going to hit this real quick. I'm going to be in and out. I'm going to let y'all know something. I'm going to give you 3 points. Just 3 points that if you take it, if you internalize it, and you use it, it's going to make today phenomenal. It's going to make this week phenomenal. And honestly, truth be told, if you use it every day of your life, it will make the rest of your life phenomenal, right? So check it out. Let's get into it. The first one, the first point that I'm trying to get you to understand, that I really want you to internalize, is to recognize the blessing. Yes, recognize that it is a blessing. I don't care what it is that's happening to you. I don't care what phase of life it is that you're going into. I don't care what you're doing right now. I don't care if you headed to a job that supposedly inside you, you're like, I really don't want to go to this job. You need to recognize the blessing. If you're going through a hard time in a relationship, recognize the blessing. If whatever it is, recognize the blessing. What do I mean by that? Is that some people, somewhere, somehow, they sitting there wishing they was in your shoes. And it ain't just grass and greener syndrome, right? Is that they're actually going through things that are much more difficult, which are much more troublesome, which is much more burdensome than you are. You see what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is I want you to recognize the blessing. And I don't care. You can say, man, it is so small. If you woke up this morning and you took that breath, it is a blessing, right? If you was able to walk this morning, it's a blessing. If you was able to use your hands to move the wheelchair, it's a blessing. If you was able to use your finger to blow in the little straw to make it move, it's a blessing. I'm telling you, if you are alive, it is a blessing, right? So and that's how minimal I'm taking it to. Literally, if you are alive today, that's a blessing. And if that's how far you need to go, how small you need to go in the blessing, I want you to recognize that that small blessing that we're talking about is gigantic. Because think of all the people that have it, right? Now, every step up, every minimal, every fraction of a grade that you come up from that blessing, it's an even greater blessing, right? So that's the first one, is just recognize the blessing, all right? Number 2, I want you to be the change. I want you to be the change that you see that you want to see in the world, right? I don't want you to sit there and complain about the change that is necessary. I don't want you to complain about what somebody else should have done. I don't want you to complain about how somebody else has got an attitude or whatever it is. I don't want you to complain about the state of physical fitness that you're in. I don't want you to complain about the level of education that you got. I don't want you to complain about the relationship you're in. I don't want you to complain about you got a test coming up. I don't want you to complain about none of that. All right. I want you to be the change that you're looking for, right? If you got somebody at your job who just never says hi, walk in and say hello, right? I don't care what it is. Write a letter to somebody. If an old snail mail letter where you actually got to write it, put the postage stamp on it and send it, right? Be the change that you're looking to be in the world. Lastly, I want you to check your intent. Because a lot of times, somebody might come in and you sitting there saying, let me use the example of the stank person at your job, right? Is you're going to come in and you're going to say, hi, right? Check your intent. The intent is to be the change that you want to be in the world, right? So go in there and actually give a heartfelt hello. When you ask, hey, how you doing to somebody, don't say it like it's just a bridge gap that goes from hello, how you doing, and into the next topic or the subject that you're talking about. If you're going to say, stop. You know how many times I've stopped at a store and I've been like, hey, how you doing? And they just look at me and they go, how can I help you? Stop. How are you? Now, listen, you need to be ready, right? That's what I'm talking about. Check your intent. Is somebody might all of a sudden actually tell you how they are. And that how they are might be a little bit more time than you was ready to invest in that moment, right? But check your intent. If you are driving and you taking a left turn, right? Make sure you look and everything, because there's a lot of road rage out there, right? And if you do something wrong, instead of just, getting knocked lock neck, right? And not being able to look left or right, apologize. My bad, right? So that's incorporating everything. That's recognize the blessing, right? That's being the change that you want to be in the world. And it's also checking your intent. Listen, that's the only thing is that I wanted to tell you today, right? I want you to know one last thing before I let you go after them 3 points, right? Is today is a manifestation of yesterday's thoughts, right? So let's start manifesting tomorrow with the thoughts that we have today. That's all it is. I'm in and out. Listen, my name is Pablo Rivera. In the words of my daughter, be yourself. But that doesn't mean you need to stay being the same version of you. Always be yourself, because that's what's important. What we doing here, Make It Happen Mondays and Watch Me Make It Happen, is we are constantly and continuously trying to become a better version of ourselves, right? So that's it until next week. My name is Pablo Rivera, and this is another edition of Make It Happen Mondays.
By the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress. Cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps that I've left. I'm passing all of you rappers, it's just a matter of time. Pick your jaw up off the floor when you admire my rhymes. A level head on my shoulders when I'm in motion, I'm focused, thoroughly thought of my plans and the execution.